Hello, friends. Welcome to the weekly forecast for the week of June 30th. Today's July 1st as I record this, and I do apologize for being late. But the good stuff happens at the end of this week anyway, so I hope that it's all going to work out anyway. This July, welcome, it's July 1st. We just tore another page off the calendar. We're at the new month. It's July 1st. And we find ourselves once again at the crossroads of change with two important planets making major moves. Uranus will cross the threshold between Taurus and Gemini for the first time in 80 some years. And Saturn recently crossed over into Aries from Pisces in May and is now heading back towards Pisces. Still in Aries, heading back towards Pisces for a little bit of cleanup, you could say, and a little bit of finishing up of unfinished business. Saturn will move back towards Pisces, moving into Pisces later on this year, and will stay there until February when Saturn moves into Aries for an extended stay. So let's talk about the green and the red days this week. July 3rd, 5th, and 6th are the green days. They're later in the week. Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday all have a lot of good green energy, which means there's opportunities, there's flow, there's luck, and it's easier to move forward. So typically the advice is load your calendar on those green days because it's just going to be easier to get things done. Your efforts will more easily meet with agreement and harmony and success. Awesome. What about the red days? The red days is when there's a little bit more restriction in the flow. There's challenges, tension, obstacles, and they require your awareness. And we can kind of say that Thursday, July 3rd, is a bit of a red day too. It's not a serious, severe red day, but it is a time when Uranus is going to conjoin Venus. Venus is going to conjoin Uranus is a more proper way to say that. And that means we have to give people space in relationships. In our connection, we have to give them a little bit of freedom, a little bit of breathing room so that they don't feel stifled and shut down, because the Uranus energy brings authenticity and freedom into the picture. And that can be a really positive thing, but it has its challenges and downsides too, especially if you have an attachment style that feels insecure when people exercise their freedom in a relationship with you. So don't freak out. It's only a day. It's only a day. And we can all deal with it. Mercury entered its retrograde shadow on June 30th, Monday. That means that the pace of progress is starting to slow down. Mercury's not retrograde yet, but it's starting to slow down. It's starting to enter that slow down phase prior to Mercury retrograde starting point on July 18th. Decisions, plans, and messages moving forward from here are subject to revisiting, tweaking during Mercury retrograde, July 18th to August 11th. Mercury is now in performative Leo, so communication is in a dramatic place that lasts an unusually long time due to Mercury's retrograde. So typically Mercury, 3 or 4 weeks in one sign, moves on to the next sign, boom, boom, boom. But because Mercury is going to be retrograde for 3 weeks, it's going to extend that Mercury in Leo phase out longer. So Mercury entered Leo on June 26th. Will stay in Leo until September 1st. Good long time. So use that Mercury in Leo energy this week. Express your respect and appreciation. Communicate about what you love and what makes you feel happy. Validate others whenever you can. And let your mind play and create and shine and be proud. We love that. But beware the pitfalls of Mercury and Leo. People want to talk about themselves more than usual, which is great, but it can turn into boasting and interrupting and talking over others and not listening to others so that they feel disrespected and not seen. So make sure everybody feels seen and has their opinion heard and their voice heard, and you'll get through this just fine. Let's talk about love and connection this week. Urges for freedom are going to come up in the day or two before Venus conjoins Uranus on Friday morning. So we're talking Wednesday and Thursday in particular. Use that Uranian energy. Dig into old attachments as the new cycle looms. Find space and freedom. New energy whooshes in as Venus moves into Gemini on Friday morning and immediately lines up in harmony with Saturn and Neptune in Aries. Yay! Forming a sextile between Venus and Saturn and Neptune that lasts all weekend. A cosmic sign that shows doors of opportunity for conversations and connections that benefit career and build solid connections that still allow space for messiness and spirituality and fluidity. The Saturn and the Neptune are present in this opportunity. So yeah, there's solidity and structure and stability, but there's a flow to it as well. You can't separate the two right now. Saturn and Neptune are right together right now, so you can't separate the two. Let's talk about health and energy this week. Mars's journey through Virgo continues, bringing the heat to the digestive process in the guts, the domain of Virgo. Virgo rules the small intestine and the accessory organs of digestion, the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas. We're still in Cancer season. Cancer is the sign of the stomach, the initiation of the digestive process. This signals opportunities to optimize digestion by increasing the acidity of your stomach. Sometimes, especially when there's a lot going on in water signs, the stomach acidity can become diluted or become weaker. And this can be a key to resolving problems with acid reflux. And it's a bit counterintuitive because when the stomach acid is lower than it needs to be, it starts to invade areas that it shouldn't. So we actually feel the acid more. And the counterintuitive thing to do is increase the acid, but the more obvious thing to do is to neutralize the acid, but that ultimately it keeps the problem going. And the reason that acidity is really important is because high acidity in the stomach signals the body to tightly close the doorway between the stomach and the esophagus. So if the acid is insufficient, that doorway can open up and then the acid can splash back. So it's not quite strong enough, but it is still strong enough to make you very uncomfortable. If you've ever had acid reflux, you know what I'm talking about. So let's talk about what the moon is doing this week. The moon is waxing now. And the seed that was planted at the Cancer new moon of June 26th is starting to build, is starting to grow towards a strong and stabilizing full moon in Capricorn that's happening on July 10th, next week. Load up your plans with activities that build on the ideas and the stories that started with last week's new moon. Build the energy, charge and attract what you need to you. We're in a building phase of the lunar cycle this week. Now, I drew a couple of tarot cards to guide us through our week. The first card I drew was the Six of Cups, the nostalgia card. It's an emotional card. Cups are very emotional. This can be about someone or something that you miss. Nostalgia for childhood or for your past. Someone you're fond of. Someone that you share a history with. The Six of Cups can also be about generating new memories. Remembering childhood or the past. It's the summertime where fond memories are made. Here in the northern hemisphere, at least. It's winter time down under. So, happy winter solstice for you all down under. if anybody's watching me from way far away. Anyway, the 6 of Cups is about a sweet and innocent love without expectation. It's about those memories of love before life got so complicated and before you had to worry about everybody's hidden motives. There's just this sweet, innocent expression of love that we're all looking for and that makes us all feel really good. The supporting card that I got for this week is the Sun, but the Sun's in reverse. The Sun was the card that I drew for our new moon last week. And this week it appears in reverse. Okay, so this doesn't mean that it's the opposite. The reverse doesn't mean the opposite. The sun energy is still there, but it's more internal now. This might be about working on your own heart or shining your own light. This can be about joy that you're blocking somehow or denying yourself. But ultimately, it's the idea that satisfaction comes from within. And if you want satisfaction in the outer realms, you have to cultivate the satisfaction from within. It's law of attraction kind of stuff. It can also be the light of an important inner realization, waking up inside. And also, just because we're in the heat of the summertime here in the Northern Hemisphere, the idea of sunburn comes to me. This could be a caution. Make sure to protect your skin if you happen to burn easily, like I do. That's it for me this week. I hope you have a lovely, very blessed week. I'll see you next week. Bye.